That's better. So I did a little 90-second live stream moment ago just to go the wrong direction for a minute. Okay. Okay, for those of you joining now, awesome. For those of you who are joining me at a later time, that's awesome too. Here we go. It's quite amazing to think about this kind of time travel that we have with the technology, that we can share information over time, that we can share it into the future. I don't know about sharing into the past. So that's in the future, yogic practice for the future. All right, let's do a little warm up in 3 planes of movement, major joints. Get everything started. Plant your feet down. I got to get a different angle. Hang on. So I don't want to cut my head off. Okay. Big breath, plant your feet down. Remind yourself what we're doing. We are integrating our breathing and our attention in the body. Take your hands together. Let's inhale this up and exhale wide. Let's inhale over the ground, make a fist. Hold the breath. Through the mouth. Inhale wide. Be tall and bring it back to your heart. Awesome. Plant your feet down. I'm going to separate my feet. And make a little turn. Bend my elbows and I twist. I look over my shoulder. Yes, twist it and twist it. Wake up your body. Remind the body its movement. Remind the body of its movement. Yeah. And release. Beautiful. Plant your feet down. Let's rock these hips side to side. Side to side. Second plane of our spinal movement is this coronal plane. So take the hips over. Find your ankles, your feet, your hips, your shoulders, your ears aligned. And breathe it right there. Reach down, open those palms, sweep up, look down, and then look up. Take it long over your ear. Breathe into this. When you want more, you reach away. You bend your knees to exit. You revolve the shoulders. You reach out and sweep it down. Empty the spine. Nice. Stack your hands on the knees. My feet are close. Make circles in the knees. And then reverse direction. Good. Bend the knees in the line of the feet. Track the knees directly forward over the feet. Check that the feet are not angled. Good. Push away. Be tall. Make circles in the hips. Reverse direction. Big circles. Big circles. Yes. Bring it up. Align your heels. Align your ankles, hips, shoulders and ears. Feel that big dilation through that right side this time. Open. Feel the compression here opposite. We want to check that we're not rolling the hips or rolling the shoulders. Reach the hands down, turn the palms up, sweep up, turn your eyes down. Look at your thumb for 3 and 2. Take a breath, turn your eyes. Look up at your thumb. Right. Reach over the top and reach away. Breathe it right there for 3. And then reach away. Crescent moon pose. Let it breathe. Notice that if there's resistance coming in, extra resistance, it's very likely that you're holding your breath. You take a big breath and you enter with your breathing. Bend your knees, revolve your shoulders, reach way out and sweep it back to the ground. Fold it forward. I'm folding forward, emptying the spine through the neck. Sometimes imagery really helps. If I imagine my spine to be like a rope dangling down, I can observe my body in a different way. And it's beautiful. I'm waking up the top of each foot through the anterior line of the shins, the kneecaps, up through the legs. And I'm gripping inside. I'm tilting my hips forward. And as I do, I create a hollow. I pull up in the top of the hips through that lower abdomen. And I tilt forward. Nice. And we breathe that right there. Bend your knees, stack your hands. Let's push away. I'm taking my hands into my lower back. I'm bending my knees. I push my hips forward. I lift in my spine. I'm arcing up. I'm not merely hinging in my lower back and my neck. I'm lifting my spine up through the heart. I'm pushing down in my heels. My gluteus muscles, they are gripping. And I'm lifting away. Drop the chin, lift the chin away. Drop the chin, lift it away. Drop it down and lift it away. Feel it. Where can we go? Where we're just waking it up in this first part of the practice. Take the arms long over the floor. Can you reach the fingertips? Out, 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 out. Reach away, away, away. Empty. Align ankles, hips, shoulders, and ears. Bend your knees and fold. So in sequencing, I mentioned earlier last week, what we do to the right, we do to the left. What we fold forward, we bend backward. What we compress, we dilate. What we flex, we extend. Good. Stack your hands up. Find your oppositions. My heels are grounded. My feet are grounded. My ankles bend deeply. My knees bend deeply. My tailbone goes back. I straighten my elbows. Yes, I feel my spine reaching through my heart, like I could shine a light from my spine through the heart, out in front of me. All right, let's open these arms and breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Sweep it all the way through and up. 2, 1. Bring it back to your heart and stand empty. Good. Plant those feet. Hands go on the top of the sternum, the top of that left arm. And I'm going to make a circle in my head. Big circle. And reverse. And release. Good. Next thing, isolate the shoulders. We're going to make circles in the shoulders and reverse. We're going to use those shoulders. I'd like for you to identify your hand, okay? And I'd like for us to recognize that in our practice, we want to awaken awareness from these fingers up through the back of the line, the posterior line of the arm, through the back of the elbow, tricep, posterior delt, and all of the muscles of the shoulder connecting to the spine, both down to the diaphragm and up through the neck to the skull. So it's a fan. It's like it comes in a line up the back and it fans to the spine. And likewise, these three fingers align a channel of strength through that bicep brachialis, through the anterior delt, pec minor, pec major, and all of the muscles of the chest, the subclavians, up through the neck to the skull. And what we're doing is we're awakening the strength from the foundation out through the arms to the hands. And that's what we're awakening in these. And as we do, as we're awakening these channels in this upper body, all the way back to the diaphragm, this central chakral region, Manipura, we also awaken down through the legs. So it's not merely about, it is muscular strength, but we're activating something more. Let's come on down to the floor, onto all fours. And let's awaken these wrists, right? So I'm going to make a fist first, and I'm going to, can you see? Make sure that you can see better. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, when we're indoors, it does have some limitations. And that's the way it has to be today. But in any case, I am making a fist, and I am supporting the weight of my body on those fists. The best fist for this, by the way, fingernails should be clipped. I take the tips of my fingers into the palm, and my thumb crosses that second knuckle, okay? Crosses the second line of phalanges, right? Okay, if I'm there, I'm going to open. Look, my thumb is wide, my fingers are wide. I'm bearing weight into the back of that wrist and close. Open the opposite and close. Keep your elbows locked. I'm alternating back and forth in those hands. And then, I'm going to do both. Up and down. Up and down. Now I'm going to rock forward and back. I'm feeling, if my thumb is wide, my finger's wide on the ground and my elbow's locked, I'm feeling a distribution of weight through the range of my wrist. Right, forward and back. Now I'm going to rock sideways at the line of the shoulder, left and right. And then I'm going to make some circles. feeling what it is to bear the weight and distribute the weight. I reverse the circles. Good. These are beginning wrist movements. Week 2, bring it back up to your fist. Take your palms down. Take your palms flat. I feel pressure in my palm at the base of my thumb, the base of my index, the base of my pinky finger, and in the base of my palm. So these 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to feel that flat. I do not want you to make any cupping in the palms on the floor. If you are cupping, it means you're not activating whole and complete. So there should be no gap under your palms. I'm going to rock again, forward and back. Very simple. Forward, back, and then side to side at the shoulders. And then I'm going to make some circles, as though I could shine a light from my spine down onto the floor, through the heart, to the floor. Circle one way and circle the other way. Right. And then I'm lifting in my thumbs only. I'm lifting my thumbs up, keeping my elbows locked. Breathe that. Keep the thumbs. Do not drop the thumbs down. Now roll into the fingers, roll back down flat. Roll into the fingers, roll down flat. Roll into the fingers, roll down flat. Good. Can you roll up into the fingers? My wrists are straight. My thumbs remain up. They do not touch the ground in this little exercise here. So I'm up, and I'm going to rock in my fingers, forward and back. My fingers are flat and broad on the floor. My wrist is straight and lifted. My thumbs are lifted. I'm going to rock side to side. I feel the distribution of weight change into the edge of the palm, at the fingers. Good, at the knuckles of those fingers. And I'm going to make a circle now. Reverse direction, circles. Circles and reverse. Good. Take this down flat. Beautiful. What if, right here, you take your thumbs together and you touch these fingertips down on your knees. So look, thumbs together. Touch the fingertips on the knees. The fingertips now, the fingernails touch the floor. I roll forward. The back of my hand, both hands, left and right, are down on the floor. My fingernails touch the floor. Thumbs and fingers are wide. Lock your elbows and revolve. Can you bend your elbows down to the floor and bring it back up? Drop them to the floor, bring it back up, lock and revolve the elbows. Yes, we are awakening the channels of strength from the spine and the diaphragm all the way to the fingertips. Now, this may not be conscious for you at the moment, but that's where you draw your strength. Good. Now, if you're there, I'm locking my fingers wide, thumbnails, fingernails down on the mat. My elbows are locked. I rock forward and back. I feel that pressure in the platform of my wrists. The wrists are not accustomed to being a platform. The distal ends of the radius and ulna are not accustomed to bearing weight, but they can. Good, and that's what we're doing. I'm rocking. Now, let's make some circles. And reverse those circles. My elbows remain locked. Awesome. If you want more, you take your fingers, your hands away from the knees. Good. I'm rocking forward and back, forward and back. Now, as is the case with any of these practices, we're not going to rush. And if you need to stop and return, that's a-okay. But do return, you know. Return to where you've left off so that you can add on. Good. Forward and back, forward and back. Nice. Let's unfold, unfold. Now you should have lots of space in those wrists. Let's cat and cow. Cat and cow. Continue your cat and cows. I'm going to just prod the fire a moment. Let's see what we got here. Whoa. You keep your cats and cows going. I just have to make sure the fire doesn't roll out on me. Yep. Good. All right. All righty then. Come take your blocks. Now, we've not done a lot of other things. We've not done our teacups. We've not done any batik. We've not done any hopping. We've not done any squatting. But we're going to touch into these blocks directly today, okay? I'd like for you first to put your blocks down as wide as your shoulders. Make your plank. We're going to do this knee tuck. And I'm lifting and holding. Let's breathe for 9. And step it back. Tuck it for 9 and hold it. Good. I'm crisscrossing my knee. Right knee to the left elbow, but I lift it high. I'm not just, dropping it here. I am lifting and crossing. Good. Breathe for 9. And the breathing is a fast bastrika, a medium-paced bastrika. And take it back. I enter with an ujjayi. And I step it back. Good. I take my knee to the outside of the elbow. Same thing, second side. Nice. And back. Then the knee to the shoulder. Opposite shoulder. And touch it down. Very nice. Were you able to hold for 9 count breath in each of those positions? Next step is going to be to step them 9 times. Yeah, but let's make some counter moves first. Take a breath. We're seated, Vajrasana. So my feet are close. My sit bones are on the heels if this is not happening for you. If you're experiencing difficulty or resistance, if you're experiencing dukkha under the feet, at the top of the foot into the ankle, roll up a towel and put that in that curve of the ankle and support yourself there. And if you need more support still, get a second towel and place it underneath the hips. And so you have both, okay? Right. And if you're there, yes, in your Vajrasana, we can add on. Let's take our hands back. My fingers point away. And I lift my spine up through the heart and drop it down. I lift my spine up through the heart. Drop it down. One more time. Then I'm going to lift in my hips. Good. If I'm there, I'm going to take 1 foot forward and I lift. I take both feet forward, but my first leg, I cross it underneath me and I repeat that beautiful stretch into that upper left quad. Mm-hmm. So I'm activating, I'm pushing away. It is not passive what we're doing. Good. And then I'm going to take both feet. Oh, I have a visitor. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. Hold it right 9 breaths. And take it down. Good. Come up, sit, Paschimottanasana. I'm going to bounce my knees and make an easy fold. Easy. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just saying, oh, this is a little, different position than where I have been for the last 12 hours. Take your hands back. Dandasana. Sit bones down. I'm going to identify those sit bones. The sit bones, these ischial tuberosities of the hip, that is where the hamstrings attach. So we want to just awaken that. Do you remember us observing how the breath connects, how with every inhale we awaken into the body, how with every exhale we can liberate resistance in the body, and how this breath cycle has its value in itself, and the breath must unlock as we practice. And this is a very significant thing, to unlock your breathing. You might notice during the day that you are holding your breath. You might notice during the day at times you do not expect. Maybe when you're driving, or when you're on the phone with somebody, or you're having a conversation that has some particular meaning for you. And we hold the breath, and we will go like this. We will find our strength. We'll go, and then we will lift that, or push that, or move that. Okay, but don't let your breath flow with the efforts that you make in the course of your day, and the postures we make. Every posture we make. Here we are. Dandasana is a form for your breath. Okay, so much talking. Take these hands up. Breathe that. Reach up high. Lift in your heart. Look for vertical lines. Breathe that right there. Push the heels away. Activate it. Breathe here 9. Good Bhastrika. Nice. Take your hands down. Bend your knees. Okay, so I want to bring my heart onto the legs. My hands touch the feet. I want to keep my heart on my legs and not straighten the knees any more than my legs, than my heart can remain on my legs. So the first thing is not straightening the legs. The first thing is the heart. Yes. Tilt the hips forward. We push away. Tilt the hips forward. Yes. Lengthen your spine. Let your heart rest on the legs. Yes. So keep the knees bent for as long as you can keep the heart on the legs. And as you can straighten, that's where the action will be. Because then you're taking the pressure off of your discs, the intervertebral discs. That's where people get their problems. I myself, years ago, I blew out my L5 and my L1. I lost about 1.5 inches in height. It took a while to recover, but they renewed. It took time. It was very painful. Boy, nerve pain is literally shocking. Beautiful. Take your hands down. Okay, so now take your hands back. Easy. Inhale up. Exhale down. I'm going to reverse my hands. I'm going to inhale up and down. Taking my feet back. My fingertips are pointing toward my feet this time, so my hands have reversed. I'm going to inhale up and exhale down. Simple breath, smooth breath. Expansive inhale. Contracting exhale. Good, 2 feet out. Here we go again. Let's do 9 of these. I inhale up. Feet are close together. Nice. Now the Bhastrika is a bellows breath. And bellows is, an even quality. Inhale and exhale. If you have the bellows, I don't have a bellows here at the fireplace, but the bellows closes and opens, and there's an equal pressure, and that's the Bhastrika. And we want smooth Bhastrikas. They're different pace. Come back up. Here we go. Take those blocks. Grip. I make a V with the blocks. I reach away. I'm going to step. Lift the toe, lift the heel, lift the knee, and step back. 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 Can you float that heel up? So I'm lifting the toes, I'm lifting the heel and floating it up and stepping it back. 2 more. Nice. Stepping slow motion, hips engage, reaching the leg forward from the spine. It is activation from the spine, reaching out. The heel floats down, then the toes touch. The toes will lift, the heel will float up, and you pull back. To float that heel in front, you must lift the knee. To lift the knee, you must activate this iliopsoas and all of your hip structure back to the diaphragm. And this is a key factor in why are we breathing like this? What's going on? And the truth of it is that we have these neural pathways that fundamentally can be like the train station from the diaphragm out. You know, the tracks can lead out. Those railroad tracks that can originate at the diaphragm lead out through those legs down to the feet. The railroad tracks from the diaphragm lead up through the spine, into the neck, the shoulders, and chest and back. Arms lead up through the neck, into the skull. All right, very nice. Next one now, we're going to make a set of 4. We're going to make 9 counts. Remember what we did with our knees earlier? Forward, back, crisscross, outside elbow, outside shoulder. That's our next steps, okay? My blocks are apart, about as wide as the shoulders. Set your intent. Sankalpa. Let nothing come in the way between your intent and the action that you make. Concentrate. Here we go. 9 of these knee tucks, then 9 crisscross, 9 elbow, 9 shoulder. Crisscrossing. Outside. Shoulder. Nice. Beautiful. We are at the end of week 2 of the blocks practices. And they are progressive. They will be getting more and more challenging. We will be increasing numbers, but it's not about numbers and sets, really. They're helpful markers. Good. Get a recovery. Lie down on your back a minute. Get a recovery. And while you're on your back, tuck your knees and rock. Leave your head on the ground. I think people call this happy baby pose. But, really, Pava Muktasana variations. Okay? So it looks like this. Lie down. Side to side. So let's see what we can make happen with our blocks still. We've got more blocks practices here before we end today. Before I get back to the blocks, I'm going to drop my knees to the left. Easy revolved stomach variation. Look, if I'm back at the center, Dvipadipittam, I take my knees over to the left. My shoulders are down. I'm breathing. And the first observation is the functional breath. Everything we're doing is about functional movement. I'm taking my awareness down to the knees. I draw my knees out and up toward my elbow. Easy version today. I'm going to take my left foot and ankle and cross it onto my right leg. And I use the leverage of gravity and position with breath. Turn your eyes over to your left thumb. All right, feel that for 3 good breaths. And then I turn my head and I look over to my right thumb. So if my knees are left, my head first turns left. And then I can step into depth. And this is what we want. We want to observe our entrances and our exits in the work. Not just the pose. We don't want, to kill the body for the glory of the pose. No, the poses are here to serve the body. And it's not about an image, or it's not about what it is supposed to be. It's about how you can deliver your awareness into your body. Find the depth of oppositions, the depth of your strength, the reach of your strength and range. I'm going to lift my right hand now straight up into the sky. And I tickle my fingers high in the sky. And I roll and empty my body. Last time, I observed these 2 words. To awaken and to empty. I am emptying my body to the left, down into gravity. I'm using my breath to release. I am not trying to move my body into a particular configuration. I'm rolled and simply falling down into the earth. Right. Very nice. Let's come back and do the second side. So I'm going to turn an angle here. My feet are drawn up toward my hips. Good. My arms are wide like a T. My knees drift over to the right, and I look to the right. I awaken my right foot and ankle, and I cross it over my left leg, and I use the leverage of gravity and breathing. I draw my knees toward my elbow, and I breathe 3 more breaths. Let me turn a little bit so you can, yeah. And then I'm going to turn my head the opposite direction. I look over my left shoulder. I look at that left thumb. And let's wake up this left arm. Tickle the fingers up. Can your fingers tickle the clouds? The imagination is a very powerful tool. We want our imagination to be active. I mentioned earlier that imagery can sometimes be of great service. Roll and empty. How can the body embody imagery? This is powerful. We're yoking when we do. We're yoking attention and breath in this body. And something more. The attention activated in imagination. Very powerful. Take your hands together. Let's rock this time along. I'm rocking all the way from my feet back into my shoulders. The bigger my tuck, the easier this rocking is. If you're not tucking, if you're really not tucking and arcing, then you go boom, flat, and you go flat. And that's no bueno. That will not serve you. Okay. I'm going to roll all the way back into a shoulder stand. I put my hands symmetrically on my lumbar spine here. I enter without force. My neck must be happy. If my neck is happy, my shoulders broad, I begin to lift. And it's not easy to talk here. I'm going to find a place where I can lift. Yes. And still connect with you. Good. So we are upside down. My feet are together. My toes are pointing up. I notice my exhale. I'm breathing through the nose. Very easy to exhale. So let's control that diaphragm down into gravity. I inhale my diaphragm away from the floor. And I exhale slow control. Let's inhale for a 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale 3. Exhale 4. Inhale 3. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3. Exhale 6. 3. 6. 3. 6. Look, not many. Big breath in. Take these legs long over the top. Plow. The names, too, they're not the most essential thing. But we're moving from Sarvangasana, our plow pose, down to we're moving from Sarvangasana, our shoulder stand, down into Halasana, our plow pose. And when I'm there in my plow, can you touch your toes down to the ground? If they do not touch the ground, try this. Bring your elbows together, place your hands deeply in your back, relax your neck. That is the key factor, neck to the eyes. And then the back will get the message. And I take one foot and touch it down. I take the other foot out long, I touch it down. And practice just one foot finding it. Maybe it won't find it yet. Maybe just straighten one, then the other, alternating. But eventually, we soften the belly. We lengthen the neck. The back relaxes. Hands, take them flat down. Let's articulate through the spine. room on your side. We're going to make one set of these camels, and then we're going to come back to our blocks. Now tomorrow I will be at the lake, at White Rock Lake, and we're going to make some good teacups and standing poses. It will very likely be too cool to lie down on the ground, but we're going to make a good standing sequence tomorrow. And we will include the teacups that we did not include today. We will include the squats that we did not include today. I'm taking one hand. Look, my feet make a dorsiflexion here. My toes are digging into the mat. I take my left hand back to that left ankle. I lift in my hips. I look down at my hand. And I'm breathing that right there. Good. I could stay there. We're making half camels, Ardha Ustrasanas. And then, if you're there, maybe you can let your feet go flat and make a plantar flexion through that ankle and toe. And the hips go forward, and I'm lifting up and I'm arcing. And I'm breathing that. I'm looking down at my foot for 3 and 2 and 1. Reach the opposite arm. This is my right arm. It reaches over the ground. My palm is up. Good. I sweep my arm into the sky. I turn my chin and my forehead. I look up at my thumb. I roll my shoulders level now. Look, you can roll up, reaching the hand high in the sky, and you can drop the shoulder down level, bring the hips forward. Right? Half camel. I take the arm over the head and I reach out. My elbows, I want to lock. Breathe. My hand goes high, forward. My fingers reach forward. They pull me forward. I empty the spine and fold down to a wide angle child. So my knees are apart. And I make it easy. Everything easy to begin. If my hands are long, I can then take them back. I melt that anterior line of muscle from my kneecap up through the quads, through the iliopsoas. Right. Into the abdominal shell that melts and deep inside to the diaphragm. Good. That diaphragm has legs. Diaphragm is a funny shaped muscle. Diaphragm, it goes around the bottom ribs, of course, flat like a disc. And then it has these extensions, these posts or legs that attach on the anterior side of the lumbar spine. And the nerves that fire with diaphragmatic action, with breath, they also fire adjacent into that psoas line down through the hips. And that is how the muscles track their neuromuscular engagements down through us. All right. Many of you people, educated people, you're familiar with this already. But this is for everybody, okay? This is for everybody. All right. Second side. Come up. Dorsiflexion with the toes. Right hand reaches back. Lift your hips forward. Look down at this right hand. Yes. Feel where you are. Looking down, put your eyes on this point down here. And then maybe we can make the feet flatten and making a plantar flexion with the feet and ankles. Lift the hips forward, arc in the spine, wake up the free left hand, level with the ground. Feel that opposition. Tickle the left fingers up into the sky. Yes, turn your eyes, look up at your thumb. Good. Chin and forehead are aligned together. Yes. I level my left shoulder. I reach my left fingers high. I drop my left shoulder. I reach my left fingers high. I drop my left shoulder. Reach the fingers high. Hips forward. Keep the hips forward. And I'm going to reach over my head. Level shoulders. I look over my head. Let's breathe. Let's breathe 9 Bhastrika. My chin drops down. My left hand reaches forward. My left hand pulls me forward. It helps me leverage so I don't have to muscle up in my back. Yes. Take it down to the floor. Wide knees. Child pose. Nice. Prasarita Balasana. Breathe there for 3 good breaths. Good. All right. Choose one final blocks practice for you to make. Maybe you say, I'm going to do just the initial knee tuck straight ahead, and I'm going to make 36. Or maybe I'm going to crisscross and make 36. Or maybe I'm going to take my knees to the outside of the elbow or shoulder. You choose what you'd want to do with this one, but make 36 of them, okay? And I'm going to make 36 also. All right, so I'm going to make 36 to the outside of my elbow. You know, all of this will help when we go to peacock poses and when we go to, you know, any number of other postures. All right, so here we go. Halfway. Nice. Lie down on your back, rested. Corpse pose, Shavasana. Good. Rested down. No extra breathing practices today, but we did observe, without too much detail, we'll have to get into that, we observed smooth, standard unlocked breath, functional breath, where the lungs fill from the bottom of the lung, middle lung, up to the top, completely. They fill the vacuum, the exhale pushes the breath out, creates the vacuum. We observed Bhastrika as a bellows breath, an even quality, inhale and exhale, yeah. And then I mentioned Ujjayi. Ujjayi means victorious, and it is where, we'll get into that a little bit more later, but we don't want to use Ujjayi exclusively with strength. It's a combination. It's not about the idea of what it should be. It's about what is the purpose and how does it connect with us and how are we yoking? That's it. Okay. The Ujjayi is the closing, the top of the throat, that activates neural pathways down that anterior line, right down to Manipura. And poof, it then activates good strength. But I said, it's not one size fits all the time. We want to have this capacity for range and range delivered breath. That's the key, okay? All right. You're lying on your back, Shavasana. Our wise guys, Georg Feuerstein's anthology called Yoga Gems. I'm opening to a random page. Let's see. It's flipping through my hands. Flip. This is from Swami Vivekananda. He says to us, with love there is no painful reaction. Love truly brings only a reaction of bliss. And if the emotion does not do that, what we call love, then it is not love. It is a mistaking of something else for love. Obligation or attachment. Swami Vivekananda continues. He says, when you have succeeded in loving your family, your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, the world, the whole universe, in such a manner that there is no reaction of pain or jealousy, no selfish feeling, no attachments, then you're in a fit state to be non-attached. And that non-attachment is almost a lifetime's work. But as soon as we reach this point, we have found real love and we have become free without the colorings of ego, without the graspings of desire, without the attachment of expectations. Yeah. Oof. That is a good place to end. Find an easy way to sit, take your hands together. Stretch your own stretch. Come up, sit with me. Let's make 3 good breaths. Inhale. Exhale wide. Inhale over the ground. Make a fist. Hold it. Lock it. Through the mouth. Exhale. Inhale wide. Back to your heart. All right, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock coming up. I'll be out at the lake, and we're going to work hard standing, okay? Well, we will include some of those things we did not do today, but you're familiar with. Namaste.